moment with me and breathe, wherever you are watching from. Whether you're living in the United States already or hoping to one day reunite with the people you love, you know how stressful immigration news can feel. Policies change, new rules appear, and families are left wondering what it means for their future. If you've ever felt scared of losing your home, your stability, or the life you've worked hard to build, I want you to know this: you are not alone, and clarity is power. Today, we're going to talk through an important update calmly and clearly, so you understand what's happening, what it might mean for immigrant families, and how to stay informed without fear. Recently, a major federal directive has been issued that focuses on reshaping how public housing assistance, especially Section 8, is administered. Section 8 is a program run by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD. Its purpose has always been simple: help low-income families afford safe and stable homes by paying part of their rent. Families who qualify usually pay around 30% of their income, and the government covers the rest directly to the landlord. For decades, families with mixed immigration status have been allowed to receive what is called prorated assistance. That means only the household members who are legally eligible receive the benefit, and the family pays the remaining portion. It doesn't give benefits to undocumented members. It simply ensures that the U.S. citizens or lawful residents living in the same household are not punished for their family structure. But this new directive instructs housing authorities across the country to apply far stricter verification rules. That means agencies will need to examine immigration documents more closely, check eligibility more frequently, and remove households that do not meet the updated standards. Many experts believe around 100,000 people could be affected, most of them in mixed-status families who depend on these subsidies just to stay housed. Supporters of the directive say that the goal is to prioritize housing for people who meet all legal requirements, especially at a time when waiting lists are long, rents are high, and affordable units are extremely limited. They believe that enforcing strict rules will protect taxpayer funds and ensure that benefits go to citizens and permanent residents who have been waiting for years for a chance at stable housing. But opponents warn that the effects may be far more severe than the government expected. Many affected households include U.S. citizen children, kids who were born here, go to school here, and know no other home. Older federal studies found that similar proposals in the past could have displaced over 25,000 households, including more than 55,000 American children. Many of these families live in states where rent is already difficult to afford: California, Texas, New York, and other high-cost areas. Housing advocates worry that losing rental assistance suddenly could push families into homelessness, overcrowded living situations, or unsafe housing. Communities already struggling with housing shortages might face even more pressure. And there's another layer. Mixed-status families often pay more in rent than fully eligible households because their benefits are prorated. Removing them could actually reduce revenue for local housing agencies instead of helping budgets. Some estimates suggest agencies could lose up to $200 million per year if these families are removed. Critics emphasize that immigration status doesn't erase the fact that these families contribute to the economy. They work, they pay taxes, and they keep local businesses running. Disrupting their housing stability could lead to job losses, interruptions in schooling, and increased demand for emergency shelters, problems that affect entire communities. Legal organizations, housing rights groups, and community advocates are responding quickly. They are preparing outreach efforts, educational campaigns, and possible legal challenges to delay or block parts of the policy. Many groups argue that the real causes of the housing crisis, like rising land costs, limited construction, and decades of underfunding, remain unaddressed. They fear that the new rules will create fear and confusion rather than solving the actual problems. There is also worry in many immigrant communities about how information will be handled. In the past, there were concerns about housing agencies sharing documents with immigration authorities. Even though federal officials say the implementation will be gradual and follow review procedures, uncertainty remains. Families may be asked to provide new documents, verify eligibility, or respond to notices before full guidance is even finalized. In some cases, households may be able to appeal decisions or submit more proof, but until clear instructions are released, many people simply don't know what to expect. It's worth remembering that a similar policy introduced years ago faced enormous backlash. Housing authorities, local governments, nonprofit organizations, and everyday residents submitted tens of thousands of comments opposing it. They argued it was expensive, disruptive, and harmful to families who were already doing their best to follow the rules. That earlier rule was eventually withdrawn because of logistical concerns and public criticism. This time, advocates worry that federal agencies might use faster review procedures and digital verification systems, which could speed up the process. For families relying on stable housing to keep their jobs, maintain their children's routines, and stay connected to their communities, the possibility of rapid enforcement is frightening. Supporters of the directive insist that it strengthens the integrity of the housing system and ensures that benefits go only to those who legally qualify. They argue that long waiting lists in major cities show how urgent the need is. They believe that stronger verification brings fairness and restores confidence in public programs. Critics see it differently. They point out that removing mixed-status families won't magically create more housing units. They fear that this approach may break apart households, increase homelessness, and strain community resources that are already under pressure. They worry about children who have grown up in the same neighborhoods suddenly being forced to relocate or lose their housing entirely. As federal officials continue shaping the implementation process, housing authorities around the country are preparing for what may come: additional paperwork, expanded documentation checks, and more communication with tenants. Many local officials are already worried about the administrative burden this will place on their already overworked teams and the growing need for emergency support if families begin losing housing. Community organizations are stepping up as well. They're offering workshops, guidance, and legal referrals to help families understand their rights. They are encouraging residents to stay informed, respond to any letters or requests from housing agencies, and seek legal help when needed. This debate is about much more than rental assistance. It touches on questions of fairness, family unity, economic stability, and how the country wants to shape its immigration and housing systems moving forward. Supporters view the directive as a way to protect resources and reinforce legal standards. Opponents see it as a policy that risks tearing families apart and deepening the housing crisis. Over the coming months, many households will be watching closely to see how the situation unfolds. And for families caught in the middle, the uncertainty can feel overwhelming. If you or someone you know is affected, remember this: staying informed, responding to notices quickly, and seeking legal advice can make a significant difference. Here on Legal Focus USA, our goal is to help you navigate these moments with clarity and calm. If you want more updates, explanations, and guidance about immigration and housing policies in the United States, please consider subscribing so you never miss important information that could affect you or your loved ones.